this will be a good one. This is off topic, but I figured it might bring some attention to some more, produce some more content for stuff I like. But I'm gonna talk about how I lost so far $1,000, and I believe it could be more. We'll find out as the video goes on. As most of you know me, I'm also setting up stream while I'm doing this because I got some stuff to talk about. I am also a avid Pokemon collector. I collect Pokemon cards. As you can see back here, I'm also a Funko collector. I'm big into anime, etc. Funkos are more just for collection. There's not many out there, I think. Um, Funkos just aren't a. They can be, but they're not an investment. And I never looked at Pokemon like it was an investment either. Until maybe a year or two ago, I was able to offset and trade some stuff to get my fiance's iPhone. And I think I traded like 3 Elite Trainer boxes and came up with enough money to get her the new iPhone. She doesn't really ask for anything, so not a problem on my end. I was super happy to do it. And then I ended up doing a second big trade or something big. I can't remember. I want to say that first trade I did was around $1,000. And I think that's when it hit me that, okay, hey, Pokemon can actually turn into something that could be some money. And I started finding apps and stuff, getting more familiar with how to add collections because I'll take my Pokemon cards and literally try to go through and master set them. And I'm not specifically chasing master sets, but I'll take like the uncommons and hollows, and I always go through the packs and go through my binder, and put them in a binder. So I found out this app called Collector that let me add my values. As time went on, Pokemon hit spikes back in 2019 was a big pipe. I want to say around COVID. I got to it right before then. I was getting into it around Tag Team. Just kind of getting back into collecting. And obviously, people started buying it and then scalping it, and the prices went up because production was low, or quantity, and ease of access to get it was low. So spike in whatever, and then it happened again. And then this other card thing came out that I had been collecting that I'm a big fan of anime wise called One Piece. So One Piece hits the market kind of, it's okay, nothing crazy. I'm not really collecting boosters at the time, but I'm buying packs, just collecting the cards. And then the scalpers moved from Pokemon to One Piece. And I had this bright idea, and I made sure I got my fiance's permission. I said, hey, I want to take some of my Pokemon that's more modern, right, and go back and try to get some of these older One Piece sets, because One Piece I think is only like at least maybe 5 years, if that, old, and get some of the original stuff before it goes out, because original Pokemon booster box from 20 years ago right now is at least 25, 30 grand, I guess. I'm not an expert, I could be wrong. But I said, hey, I want to trade some of my modern Pokemon and I want to go into One Piece. Mainly because I just want the nostalgia. It'd be stupid for me not to and regret it. Not taking a chance to get like the One Piece booster boxes that are the original before they expire or get too crazy in value. So I took a bunch of my stuff, Pokemon, and invested it, sold it, traded it, and got into One Piece. Still a collector now, so we're going to look back here as I minimize. This is the app called Collector. As you can see here, it says Pokemon Comp 12, 13, 25. So this was December of last year, and this goes back to December 11th. If you look down here in the bottom left, it shows you the amount of stuff, what it was worth when I got into One Piece. And I also have a column where I'm going to go to One Piece and show you. So this was 2,400 at the time. And slowly Pokemon just continuously to steady kind of go. It's not that I thought it wouldn't. And it's now all the way up to $35,000. I mean 3,500. That is $1,000 increase, right? That I took out, could have had, and decided to move it in a different direction. It's probably like trading. So if we go to One Piece here, hold on. First of all, before I do that, I'll show you what I had that I traded. It was mostly ETBs, Elite Trainer boxes, with my most popular one being $341 for Fusion Strikes. I was getting these when I got these. These were ease of access. These were easy to get because Pokemon was just collectible. I would buy one to keep and buy one to open. Um, Definitely not what I would suggest to get into. It's easier to grab ETBs, but they're not really like if you're looking to buy one Pokemon and get into investments, go with the Elite Trainer. I mean the booster boxes. But anyway, I'm not an expert. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I haven't opened Pokemon in forever just because it's hard. The scalpers have ruined it for me. But I bought these, held them, and then I started seeing the value. So we had, what is it, 5 per column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 20 ETBs, with this one going up to $100 now that I paid, 40, $50 for. Obviously the return on investment was there over time, right? And then I traded for, let's go back here, we'll go to overview, we're gonna go down here. And here you can see when I traded them, they were about even in value. Now, I took a loss because when you trade, you don't get 100%, right? You get 70, 80, 85. I think I ended up around 70 or 80%. So with this 2,500, what was the Pokemon again? It was about the same thing, right? No? Well, hold on, let's go back 6 months. 2,400. Yeah, I lost a little bit in it because my value went backwards. So 6 months, boom, boom, boom. Okay, here it goes. Okay, so when I traded it, right, you can see here December 13th. So I didn't have it on 6 months. I had to go back to when I started it. I went from 2,500, $2,000 in Pokemon value to about 1,700 in One Piece, but I specifically wanted the older gen stuff because I felt like, it's going to be like the unlimited stuff. Over time that stuff's going to grow in value. And as you can see here, it continued to do good. I continued to break even. I remember sometime around here, which was January, February, I remember being like, hey, I made my money back. I traded my $2,500 worth of Pokemon at $2,000, and my One Piece has finally hit $2,000. So I broke even. And then One Piece and Pokemon both kind of started to take a dip, and the One Piece value just started to go down. And it just did not go with the Pokemon. As you can see, if we go back, we'll look at it here in a second, but as I showed you on the video, the Pokemon continued to go from that $2,500 value up to $3,500. Now, where my One Piece is at now, as of May 23rd, 2026, is $2,557, which, I mean, yes, it came up from where I traded it at, so I haven't, I didn't lose money, but compared to its $2,700 max is what it was at, the One Piece or the Pokemon that I traded it at for $2,400 is now at $3,500. So my advice, just don't do drugs, kids. Don't get into Pokemon. Don't do it. Don't trade it. Just, I don't know. Don't listen to me. But yeah, I lost $1,000, man, in doing trading. Still happy with the products I got, because the products that I do have, I didn't go over real quick. From One Piece, let's go back to portfolio. Were original booster boxes, and I've invested into some other stuff. These are the 5 I traded for because my friend got me the original booster box, the blue bottom. I think the white bottom's the expensive one, but I got the original blue bottom. And these are the 5 that I traded for, and they just didn't move. These 2 down here were terrible. Paramount War did good. Carry on His Wheels, amazing set. Should eventually even out with this. This set right here was OP, but just because it had Gear 5 Luffy in it. This set right here was the first of its kind to have so many mangas, I think, and colored mangas too. So that'll eventually move up over time. But just, hey man, I lost $1,000. Learned from it. Don't regret it though, because I'm happy with the One Piece stuff I got. But figured I'd share that with y'all as an avid collector and a day in the life of trading. It's my first official big trade. My other ones I was just kind of selling stuff, but that was my first official big trade I did. And poor decisions, kids. Poor decisions. I'll catch y'all on the next one.